What is good, guys? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with NIO, Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. I want to break down what's happening to the overall market thus far, what's happening with other pieces of news involving Chinese deliveries and CPI, and how all of this could affect the market moving forward. But before I break into the devil's information, before I get into any more details, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you are guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks, and the offer ends very, very soon. Anyways, when it comes to the way the market is moving thus far, I just wanted to mention that NIO is holding up very, very well above its 4-hour 200 EMA. As long as it holds above this 6.13 area, there is potential for this thing to go even higher. But the question is, what's going to affect NIO going forward? What did CPI basically cause? And how are things looking in my opinion? Basically, CPI came out today in the morning, and everything was very close to expectations on the higher end. We had core CPI at 3.8%. It was as expected, but a little bit on the higher end of the forecast. And then for CPI was at 3.2% on the higher end of the forecast. Everything else was very close to expectations, if not a little bit on the higher ends of what we were expecting, but nothing was too bad whatsoever. Everything was so-so with CPI. Despite that, despite things being a little bit hot on some forecast and such, and us kind of like hitting those projections, the market was still up. It didn't really cause the market to drop much. We dropped initially, then we saw the market bounce, and we just saw a very nice pump on, on Tesla, on SPY, on the QQQ, and even on NIO. So CPI wasn't really affecting us too much, causing like a big drop. It caused us to pump instead. That's despite the fact that CPI did go up a little bit in February, but core CPI was fine. So that's something worth noting. For earnings, I didn't see any big moves in the after hours today for Tuesday. Tomorrow we have Dollar Tree and just a few others. I just saw Clover make some big moves because overall we got some good full year guidance, and overall there were some improvements when it comes to their projections for 2024. So pretty decent earnings overall from Clover. Good growth overall with a good adjusted revenue. So things were pretty good for them. That's why the share price was up. Part of why the market could be pumping is also because we have a lot of expirations coming up. We have quadruple witching coming up for Friday. We have max pan at 487, and we have over 4 million puts expiring. Market makers may be trying to squeeze shorts, at least early on, just to give themselves an edge. When it comes to other things affecting how the market's moving, when it comes to insurance registrations for the new Chinese car makers, you guys can see right here, we saw a little increase from many different tickers out there. Li Auto did very well with 9,300 during the week. And we saw others kind of following this trend. We saw Tesla get some decent numbers as they increased about 13,000. But NIO, on the other hand, saw a slight decrease at about 2,000. Not too bad overall. They're still maintaining over 2,000 a week. And usually what happens is the first week is not the strongest. NIO tends to get stronger numbers towards the end of the month, basically. So the numbers could still improve, and NIO is still on track to get over 10,000 deliveries, but they have to really stir things up towards the end of the week. But not bad whatsoever for insurance registrations. Volume was at about 38 million, which is not bad whatsoever for NIO. Still decent, kind of close to average. And the short volume is kind of flat. Besides that, Morgan Stanley gave an overweight rating for the markets, at least for NIO relative to the market. The price-price ratio is going up because NIO is gaining some strength. And historically, Wednesdays tend to be good days as they're green about 56% of the time for NIO. So far, we're off to a good start. Now let's break down the share price, and let me give you guys some of my predictions. So I just want to mention that so far, NIO is holding above its 200 EMA on the 4-hour time frame. That's a good sign. If we hold above this, we could try to push a little bit higher, but we have to try to maintain this level. Judging by the way SPY and the others are looking, there's a good chance we may continue higher as we pumped pretty much throughout the entire day. And I think that SPY is going to try to get to this 518 area. So look for a little drop tomorrow morning before it continues higher. I think that the higher we go, the tighter things are going to get. We could see 518 on SPY to 519 around that area being tested. And I'm sorry, if we break 518, then 519 to 520 could be tested, but that depends on 518. But I do believe there's a very good chance it's going to try to break at least a 518, and then we might see a rejection or not, depending on how it reacts. But we could go a little bit more higher as the share price is still bullish. Now, Tesla was trying to kind of trade sideways. We got a little pop and then a drop. It's still rejecting off our 200 EMA. It's not looking as strong because of more bad news. Looking at tomorrow, we could see Tesla attempt to pop with the market a bit, retest 178, then make its way back down. I still think we're going to get a very flat day because we're really struggling at this 200 or the 20 EMA on the 4-hour time frame, and we need a bullish catalyst to get that bounce. Now, One could argue that Tesla has this nice liquidity grab down here, which could lead to a breakout, but we have to hold above 178 to get it, and that's something Tesla didn't do a good job of. It did get above 178, then it came back down, just traded sideways throughout the whole day, underperforming compared to the market. On a day like this, Tesla should have been green, but because of all the bad news involving their deliveries, delivery expectations from Deutsche Bank, and things like that, Tesla was underperforming. So we're going to be watching to see how this reacts to the 20 EMA, if we do get a rejection or not. There is this attempts to grab liquidity, so this could sometimes lead to some pushes to the upside. So we could get a little pop tomorrow, then a drop back down, and we might just get like another flat stay. But I'm still hoping that Tesla shows some life. Supermicro showing some life. On the other hand, it's up over 7%. Could be pushing for 1200 very soon. Looking bullish on the 4-hour time frame. Aapl is starting to show some life as well, but it's kind of stuck between support and resistance. Our support is 172, our resistance is 174. Whichever way it breaks will determine what the bigger move is. There could be an attempt for 174 tomorrow, but we'll see if it breaks. So I could see Aapl going a little higher, but we have to try to break 174. Otherwise, we're just going to be range bound. For the QQQ, we're looking, in my opinion, bullish still. We hit 444. It looks to me like it wants to get to at least this imbalance. So I do see it attempting to get up to 445 tomorrow. Might come down a bit, then test 445. Then we might see a lot of shuffling in that 445 area. Could even try to break a little bit above that to get closer to 448. But at the very least, I do see a test of 445, and we'll see what happens after that. So I do see more upside potential. Nvda is also looking pretty good. We have this imbalance as well as trying to fill at 950. So if we could break 925 and hold above it, I see 950 coming. Nvda could push higher. This could help the whole market push a little bit more, and that would be a lot more positive for NIO. Now, when it comes to NIO, one thing I find pretty good is the fact that their guidance was not necessarily that bad during the latest earnings report. So we're expecting some strong deliveries for the month of March. So far, deliveries were not that strong for March, but they should be getting better as the month progresses. So let's hope we get stronger deliveries for NIO. And overall, the share price is still showing a lot of life. With this wedge that's forming, if we lose 6.13, NIO is going to drop back down to 6. If we hold above it, there's potential for 6.5. We got to hold that 6.13 support, the 200 EMA, and then NIO could be flying all the way up towards $7. I'm sorry, 6.5 first. Let's talk about 6.5 first, then 7 after that. But 6.5 is going to be our next target. NIO is slowly climbing up. It has more potential, in my opinion. So that being said, I wouldn't be way too worried about it. I would say that NIO still has more potential. The market could give NIO an extra boost because it is holding up decently, and we could see more upside tomorrow, but watch some tight resistance levels on SPY and the QQQ as we approach that, our new all-time highs as we get closer to them, if anything. All right, guys, so that is it for the video. I want to just thank you all so much for listening, for your attention and everything like that. Have an absolutely incredible evening and rest of the day, and I'll see you guys very soon tomorrow on the next one. So thank you for listening. I'll see you guys soon, and peace out.